Hello Collective, this is Ted from Artemis Oracle. Doing your reading today. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe and that you're staying cool and comfortable. Let's see what we get from the What's the News deck. What messages does the collective need to know at this time, Spirit? That's for the highest and greatest good. Thank you, Spirit. Supersize me. Doing too much, excessive, overindulgence. Wow. All right. A lot of cards fell, but I'm gonna take the ones that stood on the table. Anything else that fell? Okay. All right. So we have. I'm not even gonna count these because they fell. They just slid out of my hand. But the 4 cards that are on the table are Supersize Me, which is the first card. Long Haul. In it to win it, long-term intentions, invested. Time, delay, procrastination, and too busy. And machismo. Ooh. Masculine. Maybe somebody's gonna drop their little macho act because the card just fell out of my hand. Masculine pride, toxic masculinity, and meeting a manly expectations. Okay. I feel like somebody is overdoing something and this is something that they've been doing for a long time, or it could be just something that they think will benefit them in the long haul, you know? So with the doing too much, that could be someone who overgives, someone who overspends, maybe overshares. But they may be doing this as in a strategic way, or they're doing it because they think it will help them out in the long haul. You know, that in the long haul, over time, that things will turn out the way they want. With the machismo, masculine pride, toxic masculinity, meeting man expectations, maybe there's a man who feels like he needs to overcompensate the fact that he is a man. And men who tend to do this either have really low self-esteem, or they may be undercover, you know, like what they call a DL, they may be DL. So some men who tend to be acting in an overly masculine way, they do so to kind of compensate for something in some way. And maybe that's why there seems to be somebody overdoing it. That's a side message. Long haul in time. It could also be someone wanting to bring some sort of transformation in their body, you know, and though this is a feminine figure with a masculine figure, maybe some of you are wanting to make some changes with your body. Maybe you feel like you've been overindulging and that is now time for you to get in shape, to try to get yourself in order. And you know, if you're coming from like this size, you know, it's going to take time, but it seems like someone is willing to put in the work, you know, because to get to this level of fitness, you will have to be dedicated, you will have to be disciplined, and you have to be willing to put in the work and for extended amount of time, you know, not taking any shortcuts, you know. It could be that too. That could be you or somebody else around you. Okay. Yeah, I feel like somebody did have like a sudden realization about some changes that they need to make, especially for their health. They may be thinking about their health in the long term, because when I see long haul, long in time, it's like long term. It's someone thinking about the long term, not thinking about the current. They're thinking about where they are right now, but where they want to be, where they expect to be. But it's like there may be something going on in your or someone else's life, someone around you, that is basically acting as a catalyst to really that is motivating this person to make some sort of change within themselves, you know. I could resonate with this because I am plus size, and though I seem to carry my weight well, it's, you know, it does, you know, I'm someone who likes to dance and stuff, so I can understand this standpoint, you know. But your mama ain't trying to be like with a six-pack, because to me, as a feminine, I like my body to be soft and curvy, you know. It could be toned, but not like with a six-pack and the muscles and veins and stuff. No, that's not for me. That's not for me, you know. I like the classic feminine figure. That's for me, you know. Some people want to have like this like chiseled body, and you know, that's good for them because, you know, but you have to be very dedicated. And you know, I'm oversharing right now. Now I'm overdoing it. Okay, so that's that. Let's see what we get from the answer oracle, and let's just get any other messages. I'm gonna try not to give so much advice because I think I'm coming off as preachy, and that may be turning some people off. And that's just something that I realized by myself, you know. Let's see what other messages we get. What messages does the collective need to know at this time using the answer oracle? The follow card flipped, but it went back in the deck. I want cards to come out. Is there anything else? Any other messages the collective needs to know? Any other messages the collective needs to know at this time, Spirit? Two more shuffles. Oops. Okay, generous. Give with an open heart. Offer without expectation. Unconditional love. Empty, clean, purify, empty, practice. Okay, difference. Road, future, choice, destiny. And then this card also. Redemption. Hope, miracle, turning point. Okay. At the bottom we have speeding, search, flow, addiction. Generous, something. I feel like some of you are reaching this point where you're like, maybe you feel like you've been closing yourself off and not being open to giving love or even receiving love, you know. I think once we, you know, start to give love, then, you know, that creates like the space for love to be received, you know, or to be returned. And not with expectation, because it says offer without expectation. But I feel like some of you may need to come, and maybe telling you that if some of you are feeling like empty, feeling some sort of void, that it may be time for you to kind of step out of yourself and to be generous towards other people. And that you may be feeling some sort of difference. There may be a change in something. Maybe some of you feel like may feel like you are unworthy of receiving unconditional love, and that may make you feel as if you're lonely, you're by yourself. But I think that with time you will understand. You may be gaining an understanding that in order to receive unconditional love, in order to receive love, you would have to allow yourself to give it to others, you know. Some of you may be feeling some sort of void, and that with you, you know, making some sort of gesture, a generous gesture, and it could be a loving gesture, and it doesn't have to be anything grand. It doesn't have to be anything where you're overdoing it, you know, where you are overextending yourself or overgiving more than you know, than overgiving in general. I feel like that can help make you feel better about yourself if you aren't feeling good about yourself right now, if you're feeling empty, you know. I think that if if that's something that you do, that you may be feeling some sort of difference within yourself. And I think that with that may be a turning point, and then you may be seeing some changes. Now, I think it's like over time, you will start to see the changes. You will see a difference, you know. There may be a different path you may end up taking because of this change within yourself, at least with the way you express love with somebody else. Maybe there's someone in your life that is going to need some unconditional love. Maybe there is someone who is in need of some affection in some way, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could just be someone who is feeling lonely. They don't really have anyone to talk to, or they may be isolated from family or friends or anything. But that may be your call to kind of help fill that emptiness that this person may be experiencing in the moment, and that may be bringing some sort of a difference. And I feel like sometimes when we do things without any expectation, we just do it out of the genuine kindness of our hearts, that it's a redeeming quality. But I feel like in some way too, it does something where it creates good karma, you know, for you. And you may end up seeing, or maybe this is who you are. You're just someone who is generous, who has a generous heart, and you know, you've probably made a difference in someone else's life, and you probably kind of redeemed them in some way, but in turn, you also redeemed yourself. Okay, that's the second reading. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, now let's go into romance angels. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. True love. This is this is the romance of a lifetime. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. And romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay, so some of you may be meeting someone who may be different from your usual type, and that card did not pop up. Let me check the bottom of the deck. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. The fact that I'm bringing that up is that there may be religious factors. That's what makes me bring it up, because some of you may meet somebody who may be practicing a different religion than you, or you have a different spiritual path than the person you may be meeting. But this is someone who could be like a soulmate to you, with the true love and calling in your soulmate. Some of you may have been waiting to meet someone new, and this may be some sort of indication for you. You know, this person may practice a different religion or spiritual path than you, so that could be something that may stand out about this person. But whoever this person may be, it's someone that you have been manifesting. It's someone that you've been thinking about. This person may have the qualities that you appreciate in a person, and that you would like in a partner. And when you meet this person, you may be experiencing some feelings. You may even be a bit hesitant because of the religious factors too, because I feel like if you are someone who's open, who probably didn't include anything about religion or spirituality in your manifestation, that may be something that can be a challenge. Or it could be just something that really may not interfere, but impact or influence your relationship, or the way you and this person interact and come together as partners. If there is someone that you feel like is different from you, but you sense there is reciprocal attraction, then this is this card, the Express Your Love card, is asking for you to make that gesture toward this person, just so, you know, give them a little bit of an opening, and then see what comes of it. But that's only if you feel comfortable with. Sometimes you got to push yourself past your comfort zone, you know, just to see. But then if you do that, you know, you'll know whether or not this is the person for you. And then if not, you move on, and then you like create that space for the person that can actually be your true love, the soulmate that you are calling in. You know, you don't want to be stuck in a situation where someone's place is filled and there's a person waiting for their turn, even though they may not like standing online like, oh, is it my turn yet? It's not like that. It's more like, you know, like there's like a opening, an energetic opening that the person, it just like can allow this person to kind of ease their energy, their presence into your life, you know. I feel like that's it for this. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave the reading there. If this reading resonates with you at all, please like, share it, and subscribe to Artemis Oracle. My name is Tan, and I'm your reader. I'm wishing you a great day, afternoon, or evening ahead. Bye.